My question to you, I guess, what we want to find out, Gareth, is whether you think what's been happening over the last several weeks and months, going back to March, whether it's just a correction before we go higher again, which is my view. I think to me, this still looks like a correction as long as we stay above 50K. Or do you think maybe the top is in and we could be looking at something much worse, perhaps a reversal in the trend? What key level of resistance would have to break for you to say, okay, now the bottom is in on this correction? But would you be looking to get long, as an example, at that level? One mistake I see a lot of people make, when we use certain words like bullish or bearish, people often assume that you're talking about, they forget the time frame we're talking about.
Right.
You can be bearish short term, but you can be bullish long term. And It seems to me a lot of people just don't listen sometimes, because I read the comments and people think they completely misunderstand what you say or what I say sometimes.
Wait a minute, everyone. Welcome to Bitcoin Zella, your platform for daily cryptocurrency analysis and news. Our mission is to keep it simple. Bitcoin Zella offers engaging information that is easy to understand. Our analysts keep their eyes on the latest news to provide valuable insights via email. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Join our community of 10,000 subscribers and experience the new edge with Bitcoin Zella. Subscribe now. In this video, Gareth will share his insights on those topics and more. Let's join Gareth in this interview.
What key level of resistance would have to break for you to say, okay, now the bottom is in on this correction? What would you say would be the key level of resistance to break for an end to this correction that's been going on since March?
So what I would look for is the high end of this channel right here. So if we just connect the high here to the high here, it's right around, currently it's right around 70,000. So I think if you trade above there, and remember, a little wick through, or, you don't want to get whipped out in this situation. Right. But if you really get a firm close above and it stays above for a couple of days, I honestly think that we'll pretty easily take out 74,000 and move up to probably in the 80s and eventually 100. So I think that's going to be the key level, the key break point for me. And that's just using this parallel channel and just saying, okay, well, if we get above this line here, then it should be off to the races.
If Bitcoin were to drop below the lows of May, which were about 56,500, I believe it was, what would be the next support for you? Where could it flush down to? Would you say that would be dangerous if Bitcoin fell below the May lows?
Yes, if we take out 56.5, which was approximate May low, then I would think that we're at least heading back to the 50 to 52,000 range. And again, one of the things I look for is I call these shelves because they're kind of like, it's like a flat shelf. But basically what I would do is I'd put a trend line right there, and that would be my next estimated level of support. And then following that, this is the wick right here. Almost a little mini topping tail. This was when the spot ETF was approved. It kind of had this pop to 49,000 and then dropped. So if we did take out this low from May, then I would expect this zone here, 49 to 52, to be hit.
Right. And that would be a major support level for Bitcoin.
Major support. That would be huge. Yeah.
But would you be looking to get long, as an example, at that level?
I would. So that would be where absolutely I'd look to start to nibble, and I'd probably do what we talked about in the previous video, which was dollar cost average, and slowly, just in case the stock market dumps out. The other thing to look at too is, check this out. This is just another reason to love that level. Take a look at right here. So if you take the low from October of 2023 and connect it to the January 2024 low, that trend line is right at that same zone. So what I love about technical analysis is that when you have multiple trend lines that converge, it just adds extra ability for a market to hold there, or at least, bounce off of that level.
Bitcoin is at a critical point, retesting the $60,000 level as it nears the end of the post-halving danger zone, with market dynamics and institutional actions influencing its price. Bitcoin is under pressure as it hovers around $61,129, close to the significant $60,000 support level. Speculation suggests large institutions might be impacting the price to prevent a weekend breakout. Historical data indicates Bitcoin often faces downward pressure after halvings, a trend currently under scrutiny. The market expects a shift in Bitcoin's price behavior as the danger zone concludes.
This is what I found, is that there's a lot of people out there that they especially in crypto, they want to just see Bitcoin go straight up. If they could have their way, it would go straight to $1 million and then they could just cash out. But what we do know is that markets don't go straight up or straight down. And so for us, we are traders, we are swing traders, and we're going to be long and short many times over, regardless what our longer term viewpoint is. And you're right, people want to hear what they want to hear. And if you're not with what they want to hear, then you're in trouble.
My question to you, I guess, what we want to find out, Gareth, is whether you think what's been happening over the last several weeks and months, going back to March, whether it's just a correction before we go higher again, which is my view. I think to me, this still looks like a correction as long as we stay above 50K. Or do you think maybe the top is in and we could be looking at something much worse, perhaps a reversal in the trend? So I'm curious to find out which perspective you have on Bitcoin at the moment.
So just looking at it, and I'll show my charts here, but what we have, and you're right, you had the top up here, 75,000. And then since then, we've gone into basically what I would refer to as a sideways channel, right? These are perfectly parallel lines. Every time we hit the low end, we get this bounce. When we hit the high end, we come back in. And you even tried to break it right down here, and we saw buyers step in. And so for me, this is what we would refer to as a bullish channel, right? Because the bigger macro move was up, and then this is the digestion of that move. So in general, right now, the chart is net bullish over the mid to long term. Shorter term, like over the next few days, could we go down to the low end of the channel again? Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, this is a bullish channel right now, which eventually you would assume would break to the upside. The only caveat I have, and this is something that I could end up being wrong on, but overall, I am bearish on the S&P, and I do worry that if the stock market dumps out a lot, we have seen Bitcoin move with the stock market. And so that's my only thing and again, that's not chart related. That's more of a macro worry of mine for Bitcoin. Does it flush it down to 50 maybe? But you're right. I mean, I think 50 is the major level. As long as it holds that, you look for good upside.
Robert Kiyosaki warns of an upcoming economic depression, advising the public to prepare by investing in tangible assets and seizing investment opportunities during the crisis. Kiyosaki urges proactive measures against the anticipated economic downturn, advocating for awareness over complacency. He recommends acquiring assets like real estate, gold, silver, and Bitcoin to protect against financial instability. Kiyosaki sees downturns as chances to grow wealth for those ready to capitalize on them. He stresses the importance of diversifying investments to include assets that maintain or increase in value during market crashes. ARK Invest, with 21 shares, has updated their Ethereum ETF proposal, removing the staking feature to align with regulatory standards and market trends. ARK Invest and 21 shares have retracted staking from their Ethereum ETF plan, signaling a shift in strategy due to the evolving ETF landscape. This move suggests a careful consideration of the regulatory environment and a desire to increase the likelihood of ETF approval. The adjustment is seen as a critical step, possibly aimed at meeting SEC requirements and enhancing the proposal's chances for success. Veteran trader Peter Brandt has predicted a severe regulatory crackdown on cryptocurrency staking by U.S. regulators, including the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. It's going to be a bloodbath, he warned, cautioning that he believes it is illegal as hell and will be attacked with all-out vengeance. Gold advocate and economist Peter Schiff has predicted an explosive rise in gold and silver prices, while encouraging investors to take advantage of what could be the biggest precious metals bull market in history. Schiff calls Bitcoin dead money, expecting outflows from spot Bitcoin exchange-traded funds, ETF, to soon put significant downward pressure on Bitcoin. If you've been with us so far, a big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe for free to Bitcoin Zella for your daily news. The link is waiting below. That's all for today's crypto news. Stick around for more updates, insights, and analysis on cryptocurrencies. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more exciting content.